excited to show you a neat technique where you use washable markers, kind of like paint. So we're going to paint with markers. And when we're done, our Mary Blair castles will be really vibrant, bright, and colorful just from using washable markers. Since some of you might not have paint at home, but I know most of us really enjoy painting, so I wanted to show you a few tricks of some simple things you can do with washable markers. So like I said, they have to be washable. Make sure they're not Sharpies or something permanent. So I'm just using some washable Crayola markers. And because I'm going to be using water to use these kind of like watercolor paint, I went over all of my pencil lines with a crayon because the wax from the crayon will help to act like a little wall or a barrier so my colors don't mix together too much. Although some people like it when that happens. It's just really a preference of what you like to do. So to do this, what I'm going to do is first I picked lots of bright colors to use, since the artist Mary Blair did used to like to use lots of really bright colors. And all I'm going to do is just kind of outline some different areas. I'm not actually coloring it in the whole way. So I'm just going to pick some spots and see how I just kind of outlined it with my marker. And maybe I'll do down here, just kind of picking some spots to color. And then I'm going to take my paintbrush. I picked one that was kind of thin, not too big, because I do have a lot of details. So when you have lots of little details, you don't want to use a brush that's too big. Get a little bit of water on your brush. You might want to wipe some off because we want our colors to be nice and bright. If I get too much water on my brush, it might make my colors look too watery and not as bright or vibrant. And look how nicely that turns into kind of like a paint. Just a little bit of water with that washable marker. Now I am using a thicker paper, kind of like the drawing paper we use at school. So if you have like sketchbook paper at home, this would work really well. Or even cardstock, since it's a little bit thicker, might work really well for this. But if you don't have that kind of paper, if you're using like computer paper or something thin, I have a special trick that we can try for that too. So let's try that trick next. If you're using just thin paper like computer copy paper, printer paper, there's a different trick that might work better for that type of paper. All you need is a piece of aluminum foil, and you just use your washable markers and water to the same other supplies, and you just color on the aluminum foil, and then just use a little bit of a wet brush to pick up the color, and then you can paint onto your paper using that. So the foil kind of acts like a little paint palette. And some colors are going to work better than others. So you can just try them out and see what works well. Don't forget to rinse your brush off a little bit when you switch colors. I'm going to try this one. Ooh, it's nice and juicy. Very colorful. I'm going to pick up some of that color and go ahead and paint it onto my paper. Remember, the less water that you use, the more vibrant your colors will be. Make it look really nice and bright and colorful. So that's a good trick if you are using paper that's a little thinner. Don't forget to skip around. Use the colors in lots of different places on your drawing. So maybe if I use the orange here, then maybe I want to maybe come down here and use it again, instead of trying to use lots of orange in one spot. So I'm gonna skip around. And I can do all my marker first if I want to, or I can kind of do a little bit of painting and stop and paint every once in a while. You'll have to let me know if you knew about this trick already, about painting with your markers. I know I have done it with some of my kindergarteners this year. We did Chicka Chicka Boom Boom letters. So fun and colorful. I hope you had fun painting your Mary Blair castles using markers and some water. All right, enjoy, bye, I miss you.